I'm Brenda Stanley, and I'm the Public Works Private Development Manager. Well, I grew up in a small town up by U.S.A, just west of U.S.A, Marathon City. Right out of high school, I went to UW-Oshkosh, and my first degree was a bachelor's degree in journalism with an emphasis in advertising. And I really loved the writing aspect of it, but I kind of got pigeonholed into advertising as a way to pay for college. But I had heard about a program that MATC offered called Women in the Trades, Tools for Tomorrow. And so I went through that program, and each week, twice a week we met, and each time there was a woman from that trade or that field that came in and talked about their specific trade. And so it was a woman that worked for the DOT, Beth Canestra, that came in and talked. And I knew that night that I was going to make a career change, and I quit my job and went back to school at MATC. Got my degree as a civil engineering tech. But in a nutshell, I oversee private development. So anybody that comes in with a project, whether it be an infill project, on the corridor coming through, I take care of the east side. So coming through on East Wash or any project on the east side in town, or a plat over on the east side where they're changing a farm field into a new subdivision. I'm involved in that process. For me, it was more intimidating on the construction site, because when I first came on, it was, I think 20 years ago especially, men weren't used to having a woman on the construction site. And I was there as an inspector, so oftentimes I was there telling them to do something correctly and holding them accountable to the job that they were doing. There was an example where they were pouring curb and the concrete was out of spec, and I told them that they needed to stop or we wouldn't be paying for the concrete. And they decided to keep pouring, and then another male inspector came on the job, and he looked at the concrete and could tell it was out of spec and told them to stop pouring, and they did. And he's like, "Why didn't you stop them?" I'm like, "I told them about 100 feet ago that they should stop." But what happened is they ended up ripping out all that curb. I'm like, if you want to continue to rip stuff out, that's at your cost. But things got a little bit better after that. It's everything from construction to design and planning. All of that is what's involved, and getting women involved in it. I think it's becoming more popular for women to be involved, but for a long time it hasn't been. I just love the whole department, and I like having a part in development in the city, to drive through the city and know that you played a role in something that's happening in the city that's big and exciting. So you're coming into the city from the interstate, and you can see the Capitol and everything that's happening as you're coming up. I think trying to mix the old with the new, I love it that some of the developers are taking buildings that are existing and working within those buildings, keeping the shell, and so it still has that brick feel and that original to Madison feel about it, and then keeping that and making their development around that. It's exciting, and I do think we need more women in this profession, in engineering and in a lot of the trades and different non-traditional type jobs, because I think that we offer a different perspective. We offer a different opinion and a different take or a different look at how something should be done, how we communicate, and we should have a voice at the table.